Morgan, Natasha, thank you for joining me today on Press Day.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
having us.
Natasha, it's nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again too. I was going to say.
So yeah, I don't even know where to start. I've been asking this question all afternoon with the other cast members too. What a ride from season one now hitting it to season two. The way it ended, I need to know when you've read the script for season two and you're about to start filming, what went through your minds? Morgan, we'll start with you first.
Yeah, I mean, it's a completely different storyline for Crystal at least, and for Haley too. But I think for this season, there's she's going into a different field now, and she's exploring the medical field. So I think it was really exciting to see that, and we had our own one-on-ones with Julie as well, and she kind of debriefed us on how the season might go and where they see our characters going. So it was really cool to see the arc that they were giving for Crystal of kind of losing herself and then finding herself again, and doing that journey of self through this season. So yeah, it was really fun to explore. And I mean, we were getting two episodes at a time, so we were kind of getting them in chunks
Okay.
as we were going along. But I think that once we started to kind of see the full picture, you're really starting to piece together everything, and it was a beautiful ride to go on, that's for sure.
Natasha.
Yeah. It's also just fun going into a second season of a show where your characters have been established, which is like primarily the important thing in season one is establishing these characters and establishing their relationships and and the environment of the show. And so then, immediately going into a second season, there's just a lot more, I think, added weight to each character and each storyline and a lot more to play with there, which is really fun. And so yeah, going into this second season, I was like, oof, I'm gonna have to buckle up emotionally. I'm gonna have to make sure I'm
Right.
getting sleep and I'm taking care of myself because Haley went on quite a ride this season.
And it's great. What's great is this show has a decent sized fandom, and when we were waiting for the news for a season two to finally get picked up, and there's diehard fans out there. What are you hoping for they get out of the season when they tune in?
Yeah, I mean, I hope they fall even more in love with these characters. I think, as I said before, there's a lot more room to play with in a second season of a show with, sort of twists and turns and different directions that characters are going. And with our amazing additions this season with new characters, Sydney and Ryan, who had a bigger part this year, it just, allowed more fun in sort of relationships and love triangles, and things got messy but also beautiful, and there's some new relationships and whatnot. So yeah, I hope the audience just falls even more in love with these characters and these storylines.
Morgan.
Yeah, I think to add to that, everyone uh brought their all this season, and I think also with another addition was Nadine Whitman as well, who plays Dr. Yana, and I think that they need to buckle up because this season was really really fun. It was also really beautifully challenging, I think, for each character, and diving into everyone's characters, you get to see where all of these kind of trials and tribulations come from each
Okay.
person from this season. Because you see in from the first season, everyone is kind of establishing their characters, like Natasha said, and then for the second season, you get to dive a lot more into where that comes from, and the root cause of it all. And everyone kind of has that placed within the second season. So it was beautiful to watch everyone bring that to their characters this season, and see what the writers were thinking of bringing as well.
You mentioned the new cast. How did you break the new cast in? Because during the first season, you guys lived together while you were filming this. How was it bringing these the extra cast members now in?
Oh my gosh, it was so fun. I mean, they are so great. They fit in immediately, and they were all actually living at the same hotel. So I think they got to have a similar experience as Morgan and I and the rest of us had during season one. Morgan and I lived together this year in a house, and so we were kind of doing our own thing and being a little bit more, again, I was prioritizing my sleep and my health throughout this season, just because of the ride that Haley was on and whatnot. But anyways, I think they all definitely had some fun, and it was, I mean, it was really easy. They fit right in, and they're, we're so lucky that we have such an incredible group of people that we get to work with every day. So it was a real treat.
Anything to add to that, Morgan?
Yeah, I mean, that she said it exactly how it is. Everyone fit in so well. And also they're just amazing talents, and they get their characters so well, and they brought everything that I would have loved to see for this season. So they're phenomenal talents. They're also phenomenal humans. And they fit right in. I mean, there was no complaints at all.
Right. For the while you're filming this series and everything, we have like emotional scenes, emergencies, romance. Like, what's your favorite to get into?
Ooh.
Good question. I had a really fun time diving into Haley's, what she's going through, without giving too much away. She obviously has pushed a lot of her trauma from her past down, and tried to distract herself in a lot of different ways, in order to not acknowledge and accept what has happened. I think she really obviously struggles with the passing of her mom and not being there for her and not being able to say goodbye, and she holds a lot of regret, and that's this like just deep weight that is constantly holding her down, and she's constantly trying to find things to distract herself and to make herself feel better. And so for me, when it was finally time for Haley to acknowledge those things and come to terms with those things and accept them, that was really empowering and inspiring, because I think it's part of the human experience that sometimes we want to run instead of deal. And so for me, it was inspiring to play, and it was very raw and vulnerable, but really invigorating, and it felt really powerful. It almost felt like a part of me was also letting go of things, and it was kind of therapeutic. So yeah, that was something that I enjoyed doing.
Yeah, I think for Crystal anyways, for this season, her love life isn't so great, or it's just maybe a little bit sparser. But so she's really focusing on self this season, and she's really trying to find her way back to herself. So that was really fun to explore. And also for Crystal, just not being in charge all the time. She really has to take a step back this season, because now she's a student, and she doesn't get to be the one that calls all the shots now. She's not the one that knows everything. So I think her ego gets a little bit in the way for herself just at the beginning. And then she really starts to, I think, find her footing near the end, and finds herself again, especially within this industry or within that field. Specifically, and being a woman, being a BIPOC, someone who maybe has a little bit of have a little bit of a harder trek when it comes to this specific field. And I think that's where her and her mentor really get each other in that sense, and they lean on each other in that way. So that was really fun to explore for this season. And then who knows what happens with love in the end. We'll see.
There you go. Morgan, Natasha, I want to thank you for giving me a few minutes today for press day, and hopefully we do it again in another year with season 3.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.